Hello friends, this is Dr. Hairat Udabat. Today we are going to discuss something newer for the COVID-19. So we are going to discuss about role of tocilizumab and plasma therapy, especially for the COVID-19 patients. So some brief regarding the history of this COVID-19, that a severe pneumonia associated with respiratory syndrome, which is caused by the novel coronavirus, was identified in December 2019. About 25% of COVID-19 patients experience a severe complication, which include the acute respiratory distress syndrome, disseminated intravascular coagulation, and progressed into an intensive care unit admission, and some from them may died. In the past decade, two known pathogenic human coronaviruses. One is a severe acute respiratory syndrome, COVID, which was SARS-CoV, and Middle East respiratory syndrome, have been reported to damage the respiratory tract and cause high amount of morbidity as well as the mortality. Although virus induce the cytopathic effect and viral evasion of host immune response are believed to be important, especially for the disease severity, studies from human who died of SARS as well as Middle East respiratory syndrome suggested that an aberrant host immune response, which was important for produced by the inflammatory cytokine storm, and it will responsible to causing a lethal disease. So most of the patient have increase in plasma concentration of inflammatory cytokines such as tumor necrosis factor alpha, interleukins 2, 7 and 10, granulocyte colony stimulating factor, macrophage inflammatory protein 1 alpha as well as interferon gamma. Moreover, COVID-19 patients have decreased lymphocyte, especially in their peripheral blood, and characteristic pulmonary ground glass changes, which can easily appreciate especially on the imaging. So autopsy from the patients who died from the COVID-19, histological examination is typically showing there is a bilateral diffuse alveolar damage, which include there is a alveolar edema, collection of the proteinous exudate, focal reactive hyperplasia of pneumocytes with patchy inflammatory cellular infiltration along with the multinucleated giant cells can easily be appreciated. So autopsy examination also suggested that type 2 alveolar epithelial cell proliferate markedly with some cell exfoliated. Alveolar septum is hyperemic edematous with intravascular thrombosis, which was clear-cut visible in their examination. Immunohistochemistry results shows there is a positive for immunity cells, which include CD3, CD4, CD8, CD20, CD79A, CD5, CD38 as well as CD68. So this aberrant host immune response and inflammatory cytokine storm probably impedes the alveolar gas exchange and contribute for the high mortality of the severe COVID-19 patients. So the next slide is the image, which you can clearly see that from the blood cells, when there is a activation occur of the immunity system, especially the T helper 1, they are going to produce the granulocyte monocyte colony stimulating factor along with the variety of inflammatory monocyte, especially interleukin 6, CD14 and CD16. They travel from blood to the lung, at which they are responsible to causing the edema, exudation as well as inflammatory cellular infiltration, which going to damage the alveolar epithelial cells, which affect that particular type of the gas exchange and responsible for development of mortality in this kind of the patients. So regarding the treatment approach, here is a tocilizumab is the first marketed interleukin 6 blocking antibody. We all know that is a very important monoclonal antibody through targeting the interleukin 6 receptor, and has proved its safety and effectiveness in therapy for rheumatoid arthritis also. So apart from using the lopinavir, methylprednisolone, other symptom reliever and oxygen therapy, treatment with tocilizumab is also inspiring. The temperature of all the patient returned to normal very quickly. The respiratory function and all other symptoms improved remarkably when it was used in the 21 patients. Just before few months, one trial was conducted with the tocilizumab, especially for the severe patient who required the COVID ICU care. From the 21 patient, the 20 patient responded with this drug, and after that large-scale clinical trials done, and almost 500 severe or critically ill patient they are treated with it also. Interleukin 6 is the best marker for starting and response assessment of tocilizumab therapy. Studies suggest that if the patient who are critically ill and whose interleukin 6 level is 10 times higher and cytokine storm proven in those with this drug has a definitive role. Single dose is not much effective, so multiple subcutaneous injection therapy is definitely recommended. While comparing it with steroid, even tocilizumab has more beneficial role for prolonged therapy. In some studies, they tried combined therapy of methylprednisolone and tocilizumab, and results are also promising. This drug has a characteristic side effects which include headache, hypertension, injection site reaction, some serious side effects which include hepatotoxicity, leukopenia, thrombocytopenia, serious allergic reactions, and more tendency to getting infection is always there. Apart from that, the pediatric trials are not done. So the effect of tocilizumab, especially for the pediatric patients who are suffering from the COVID-19, is still controversial. And apart from these side effects, cost is a very important concern. The 400 milligram injection costs around 40,000 rupees, especially in the India. Still, this drug is under clinical trial, and they are not included this in a COVID-19 guideline of treatment. So this slide is particularly showing the effect of tocilizumab. As we can see easily that this drug is particularly blocking the signal transduction, and they're going to calm the inflammatory storm. Now we are moving our second topic, which is a most hot topic nowadays. It was a convalescent plasma therapy. So if we understand the meaning of these two above words, we can understand easily this wool therapy. Convalescent means the person who is recovered from the illness, and plasma is one of the important component of the blood which we can get after the centrifugation of the blood. And if we store the plasma at minus 70 to minus 80 degree Celsius temperature, we can use it up to for 1 year also. 55% of volume of wool blood contains by plasma. So if we have a 350 ml of wool blood, we can get approximately 200 ml of plasma from that particular blood. This plasma is rich in various proteins. In different type of proteins, antibody are also included. So when individual gets infected with antigen in form of virus, bacteria or other pathogen, body's immune system becomes activated and started production of various antibody against that particular virus. It requires almost 10 to 15 days for the production of that antibodies. So if someone get infection of COVID-19, his immune response get activated and it produce antibody against it. Initially it was IgM, so immunoglobulin M type, which is followed by immunoglobulin G type. After this antibody response, patient start recovering, and if he will get similar infection in future, he might not develop symptoms or he might develop milder symptom, and his recovery rate would be the faster. So the person who is completely recovered from COVID-19 infection, we can name him as a donor, and plasma from that donor would be helpful for the patient who are suffering from that particular type of the illness. And this donor can donate his plasma to the patients who are infected or who have increased chances of infection. If we transfuse this antibody rich plasma to the patients in the early stages of illness, it will help them for the faster recovery. So one clinical trial was conducted before few months in which 5 patients who were critically ill taking treatment in intensive care unit for the coronavirus were transfused with 200 ml of plasma from donor whose antibody titer was more than 1 gem 640. So the results were promising. All the patients recovered with minimal adverse effect of this particular plasma therapy. One study is suggesting that this plasma therapy should be restricted for specific criteria regarding the patients, which include that it should be restricted for the critically ill patients, which include the patients of acute respiratory distress syndrome, whose SpO2 is less than 92%, whose Carico index especially is less than 300, patients who are presented with septic shock, multiple organ dysfunction syndrome or the DIC, which is proven recently that the coronavirus can be responsible to production of this type of DIC as well as the MODS type of manifestation apart from the respiratory failure. Specific criteria for donor also that he should be symptom free at least for the 14 days. He should be tested negative with RT-PCR for COVID-19, and his antibody titer in plasma should be more than 1 gem 320. So now the limitations of the plasma therapy, that there would be insufficient donor. There is a biggest limitation because one donor cannot provide enough plasma for multiple of the patients, and the recovery rate is also very less. That's why we have a more number of patients as compared to the more number of recovered patients. That is a big problem, especially in our country. Lack of evidence regarding the effectiveness of the therapy, that was a second limitation. Lack of clinical trials, that was a third limitation. And this particular convalescent plasma therapy is given with the standard treatment of COVID-19, which include the antiviral drugs as well as the steroids. So with this type of immunosuppressive steroids, the effect of the antibody already will be questionable. So this is only brief things regarding the recent advances of tocilizumab as well as the role of convalescent plasma therapy for the COVID-19 patients. Thank you so much.